I'm Tim. Welcome to my channel. Glad you stopped by. Glad you gave it a shot. What we're doing today is just pretty basic bicep curls. It doesn't get easier or more basic than this, but you get results. You don't have to get crazy with your workout routines to see the results that you want. And that's, the whole drive of what I'm doing here is to show you keep it basic and still have great success. I'm gonna grab the 10 pounds. Just gonna warm up with the bicep curls with just 10 pounds, nothing fancy. I am wearing my 20-pound vest because I just like it. I don't have a great reason for it. So if you don't have a 20-pound vest, it's not necessary. It's just something extra I'm doing for me. Make sure you take that time to warm up. You just get a chance to see if there's anything wrong with your body, anything that's, tweaked, weird, anything that's not gonna be great to be working out with. You want to know before you grab a heavy weight that something's potentially wrong. You don't want to latch onto that heavy weight and find out that, oh man, I was not ready for this. Everything that you see that I'm doing, it's very easy. It's just going to be a very straightforward 30-minute exercise. You can do it. You don't have to do the same weight levels. Definitely start where you're comfortable. I'm going to go up to the 40s. You don't have to do that. You can do whatever works best for you. And just know, like if you're starting lower, you will eventually get up to where you can do the 40 pounds. My goal is to get to where I can do 50 pounds. So I'd like to be able to do, be able to do 3 sets of 10 with the 50-pound dumbbells someday. That's my goal. Right now I'm trying to get to the 40-pounders, as you will see. But you can get there as well. As you see, there's nothing very complex about this exercise. It's just lift the weight, drop the weight. Lift the weight, drop the weight. Pretty basic. And the other reason why you'd be able to do what I do is that I don't take a bunch of extra stuff either. I don't take a bunch of protein mixes. I'm not taking a bunch of supplements. I'm as basic as you can get. I eat meat and I eat my veggies. I eat carbs. And just, live a pretty basic life and work out in a very basic way. And I have results that I like. And if you like them, you can do them too. You don't have to go out and buy the latest and greatest of equipment. You don't have to go out and buy the latest and greatest of protein drinks and supplements. Just grab yourself a simple set of dumbbells and start going. One of the things that they don't talk about enough, I think, in the gym and in the fitness community, because we're so focused on fast results, get this 6-pack in 30 days, 90 days, shred all this weight. You can do this. This is my 30-day program that got me jacked. And we don't talk about the fact that, you have your whole life to get fit and be fit. Now, if you're like overweight, I would definitely say focus on that. When I was overweight, considerably overweight, that was my primary focus, was burning off my excess fat. I did that by walking. When I had walked off enough fat and it was safe, I started jogging and then running and just kept going with that. My focus wasn't getting jacked, wasn't lifting more weights. It was just getting through that fat. Once I got into that fat and I was feeling better and more mobile and my ability to do things was back to a healthy level, then I started lifting again. You can do the same thing. But once you start lifting think of it as a marathon and not a sprint. I've spent time thinking of it as a sprint, and it's only been a detriment to me to view it that way. It's when I hurt myself. That's when I do dumb things. And there's a lot of pressure, especially when you're younger, to get jacked, get super huge, and you can do it, but the drive to do it quickly is not the best in my experience. You know, especially if you're charging up the heavy weights, you're easy to make mistakes. You know, and I've seen plenty of guys who were really in good shape in their 20s, hurt themselves, be in bad shape in their 30s, worse shape in their 40s, and not really recover. You know, they've got some serious injuries they cause themselves. They mess up their shoulders, mess up their elbows, destroy their knees, ruin their back, and they will tell you about how, oh man, I could lift 1,000 pounds back in the day. I was huge, but unfortunately, they can't anymore because they made some bad decisions. You know, don't do that. If you're younger and watching this, take your time, pace yourself. And the other thing is, I think definitely don't focus solely on the way you look. There's nothing wrong with wanting to look big or having big arms or something, but make sure there's other things that you're getting out of it besides just looks. Uh, you know, I'm kind of naturally set up to have big biceps. And I've had this conversation with a lot of guys. It's very common because I like to ask people questions about their workouts when I see guys that are huge, but I've seen guys with giant forearms and be like, man, what do you do for that? And like, honestly, it's just natural. I barely do anything different than anybody else. I just have huge forearms. Talked to a guy the other day at my kid's school. He has just massive calves. And I was like, man, like, what do you do? He's like, all right, really? Like, people ask me all the time, but it's kind of natural. Like, all I do is, I do squats, I do lunges, and I do incline walking uphill, but nothing like crazy. I'm just naturally, this is where I'm huge. And it's something when you're like going after a certain image, you gotta realize you might not be able to hit it as well. I got a buddy who really wants wants big biceps, and his biceps don't show up nearly as big as mine. But he's got really long arms. He's over I think he's over 6'2", tall guy, long arms. He would have to be so strong and lift so much weight to have biceps as big as mine. And just because he's got long arms. And he really wants that look. But I honestly, I think he'd have to start doing some roiding to get that big. The amount of weight, he's not weak at all. Like, he's a really strong guy. But the amount of weight he'd have to have, he'd have to be able to curl to get biceps that big. I think he'd have to be easily like curling, throwing up like 60-pound dumbbells, 70-pound dumbbells before he got that big. So, and it's so funny because you think he would just be grateful for his height. You're tall, man. You won the race. Don't worry. You don't have to be jacked and tall. It's okay. All right, so we're gonna jump into the 40 pounds. I'm gonna give it like 20 more seconds just to make sure that I can give it my full. I really want to hit 10 reps this time. The goal for me is to get to being able to do 3 sets of 10 with the 40s, and then I'll move up to the 50s and start playing with those. So, and I want to be up to 3 sets of 10 on the 50s. I really want to make this happen. Here we go. All right, that's 10. I felt really good. That was a lot better. Last week I did 10, but had a lot more hip thrust going for that last one. This one felt a lot better. I'm gonna give myself about 40 seconds and then hit it again. I try not to give myself longer than a minute in between sets. I want to exhaust my arms. If I give myself too much time, that'll take a long time to get done. All right, here we go. All right, that's 6. So typically what I do when I get to less than 8 reps is you will see me grab a lighter weight after that. And that's what I've done for a long time. But I really, really want to chase down being able to do the 50 pounders. So I'm going to be squeezing out everything I can on the 40s before moving up or moving down to the 30s. I really want to get this done. I kind of like to be there by the end of the year. So this last set I did was 6. So I need to be able to do 4 more reps in that set and then another set of 10. 3 sets of 10, and then I can graduate. Just can't give up. That's 4. Maybe like 40 seconds and hit it again. So last time I hit biceps, I did a set of 10, I did a set of 5, and then 2 sets of 3. So I'm ahead of the game. I did set 10, which is par, but then I did 6 and 5. So feeling stronger, or 4. Sorry, 10, 6, and 4. So I'm improving. That's what it's all about. All right, that's 3. I'm gonna call it with the 40s. Give myself a minute and then grab in the 30s. The big thing is just, man, don't give up in this. Like, there was a guy's YouTube video I was watching last night, and he was talking about how he's working on different stuff, and then in the comments was talking to another guy who was just like, yeah, like sometimes my only improvement is a quarter of a rep, half a rep, and then it'll get better over time. And that's it, man. You just gotta keep pushing. Don't quit. That's one of the big reasons not to quit, is that once you quit pushing forward, it's really easy to slip back. And you might think, well, I'm just gonna maintain and be fine at this level. And you're gonna find yourself like one day the 30 pounds will start feeling heavier and heavier and heavier. And you'll feel more like you want to quit. Don't do that to yourself. Keep pushing a little bit. Keep pushing hard. You'll get some progress. As long as you're trying and you're making that progress, it'll keep you from slipping backwards. And there's a lot of things. But one of the big things that be super frustrating is losing gains. When you grab a weight that you used to be able to just toss up, and you grab it and you're like, oh my gosh, why did I stop? And it's fast, man. This last time I had a break in between working outs was 2 months, and I lost a lot in 2 months. I was really surprised. I was really sick for 2 weeks. That didn't help, but I lost a lot of gains for just 2 months gone. And my goal is to not take too many more times, like months off or 2 months off. I really don't like going backwards on this stuff. And for me, like, I do get a big, I feel really good when I'm done working out. Like, I get the endorphins kicking in. It helps me with stress and frustrations. I can get out in a positive way do something with that energy. If I'm not working out, I'm more likely going to be drinking and eating like crap. And my like demise comes quickly from that. It's not pretty. I put on fat like it's nobody's business. And like just drinking gets into a horrible, horrible cycle for me. It's like a never ending train of energy drinks and late nights drinking, especially with kids, because I don't drink around my kids. So that means I'm drinking late at night and then having to wake up and be dad. And I can feel it. I can feel the draw to it. Last couple of days, been kind of rough. It was, September 11th yesterday, 9/11. It's always a day that spent a lot of time thinking about the past. And of course, on 9/10, we had Charlie Kirk was killed. So there's a lot going on. I didn't make it up in time to do my workout yesterday. So by the end of the day of like reading the news, reading stories, just being stuck in the past, like last night, Thursday night, I was definitely like, oh, I'm gonna have a drink. And I powered through it. I was like, nah, man, tomorrow's a school day. You got stuff to do with the kids in the morning. You don't really need it. But had I been not consistently working out, it probably would have been easier to slip into old habits. And just to like be clear on like a couple of points. When I drink, I do drink with like the purpose of being drunk. I'm not a casual like I'll have 2 beers. I'm not casual about indulging anything I do, whether it's eating donuts. I like raspberry filled powdered donuts. And if I buy one pack, they come in the sets of 6. There's a high probability I will eat all of them within 24 hours of opening it. And if it's been a while and I'm really off the wagon, I will probably eat all 6 of those donuts in one day, probably within less than 12 hours. So I have to stay away from that. And it's the same thing with drinking. So it's good to have things that help me not be so inclined. And I do think that like part of it too is when I'm drinking, I am doing my best to get away from the thoughts and the stuff that's causing me stress by just shoving it down, pushing it away, and then you just drink until you can only think of silly things. And anyway, when you lift, when you're running, when you're doing something hard, when those thoughts come up, I do feel like I process them better. I think through them. I come up with suggestions or ideas for myself. And I also feel better because I know that I'm making myself stronger on the outside and on the inside, pushing through my own weaknesses, my physical limitations makes me stronger. The drive to do that, the ability to force myself to do that mentally makes me stronger. So it helps me a lot. You know, especially if you're stressed out about the world and the evil things that happen in the world, there is part of like being in shape, being mobile, being able to take care of yourself that makes you feel better about those situations. You know, like I worry about my kids, but I know that I'm strong enough that if we were ever in danger, I can pick both of them up at the same time and get us out of there. And that helps me deal with some of that anxiety of being a dad in today's day and age. Ooh, that was hard. That's 8. And I would say too, if you're a younger man and you're draft age, start working on getting in shape. Not that there's a guarantee a draft will happen. No guarantee you'll have to go to the military, but I guarantee you those anxieties and fears will be better managed if you're strong and you're more physically ready for that possibility. That's 6. All right, I'm out of time. Thank you so much for hanging out. Appreciate it. I hope you're able to stay motivated. Hope you're able to get after it. Make some good habits, make some good changes. Thank you so much for hanging out, and God bless you. All right, this is my bicep workout, my 30-minute bicep workout. I did 3 sets of 10 with the 10 pounds, 3 sets of 10 with the 20 pounds with the 40 pounds, 1 set of 10, 1 set of 6, 1 set of 4, 1 set of 3 with the 30 pounds, 5 sets of 10, 1 set of 8, and 1 set of 6, all while wearing the 20-pound vest, just for fun. Thank you.